I know it's a good thing for the kids and all, but I think it is much to do about nothing with 5 stars and 4 stars and everything, because you don't know how they're going to act once they get on campus. But it was National Signing Day yesterday, and
Yeah.
very, very busy in our neck of the woods for National Signing Day. I was very, very happy to see, even though I'm not a big fan of signing day, I don't get into it like some of these people who go crazy and just it's like the NFL draft to them and everything. I don't get into it like that. But I was very happy to see a very large number of Marion County kids signing yesterday on National Signing Day. Dunellen had three Tigers that signed. Linebacker Jaden Dyer, receiver, defensive back L.J. Fitzpatrick, and offensive lineman Caden Richardson. They're heading to places like Iowa Western Community College and Oklahoma Panhandle State. And people go, yeah, well, what is it? That's a college education. That's what it is. Good for them for signing a scholarship and getting their college education paid for.
Yeah, and this is a class I know very, very well. I saw every kid that signed yesterday. I've coached or know, except for one. I don't know the center from Dunellen, but I know just about every other kid, and I've seen most of them grow up. From the time they were 7 or 8. Some I'm very close to, there's a handful of kids that I'm just so proud of. Shayne Hodge is one of my wife's like, you sure do have a lot of favorites. Shayne Hodge is one of my favorite kids. He's going to the University of Penn. He has a opportunity to change not only his life, but his family's life for the next few generations when he gets an Ivy League education. A smart kid, just an absolute joy to be around with, and I'm hoping nothing but the best for that kid. Gavin Condino, another kid from Westport, really went through the ringer at Westport for 4 years as a quarterback there. He's going to Stetson, again, just a great kid. But I could talk about all of them. Marquise Jones over at Trinity is a phenomenal kid. There's so many in this group.
The amazing,
and there's still more to sign, which I think will be interesting.
And the amazing thing is, you coached some of these kids and didn't hurt their careers.
Well, yeah. Coaching some of these kids, you don't really coach; you just encourage, right? And it's something we talk about all the time. When you've got people like Steve Rim on the staff, you just kind of, and Coach Castaneda, you just kind of stay out of the way, make sure everybody has water, and they got a ride. That was predominantly my job on the football side of things. So again, Isaiah Guy and Hop from Elijah Hopkins, and I'm who I'm really happy for today. This is the day the parents can say all of that work that we put into every practice we drove you to, every camp, and every 7-on-7 we went to was worth it because I got you to college, and it's going to be paid for. I think that's tremendous.
It really is. That's the win of yesterday was you got to college, and it's going to be paid for. That's the win.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I had a conversation last night at the basketball game with a kid I coached who now plays for a D2 school, and at the time he really wanted to go D1, and he just didn't get any D1 offers, and I try to text him 2 or 3 times a week, and I told him, I said, look, you're getting out. Look at your teammates and who you graduated with, and all those kids. And how many of them are still in Ocala, still stuck? How many of them have kids? How many of them are never going to get out of Ocala? And you got out. You got out, and now you got to just stay out. I tell every kid I coach, there's nothing here for you but your mama, and your mama will go wherever you need her to go. So stay and go and grow up. The world.
I was arrogant in 1985 and didn't really understand the whole process at the same time. Was a little not a little cocky. I was really cocky, and I got offered preferred walk-on status at a university, And I laughed at him and said, I'm an all-state linebacker. I'm not a preferred walk-on. Because that was the 18-year-old in me that didn't realize what was going on. But it was the greatest non-decision I ever made in my life, and I'll tell you why. And it goes back to the kid at Division II, the basketball player. He's found a home now at that university. I can tell from the way your voice was and everything.
There's no doubt.
He's found a home at that Division II school, and he enjoys it there. Well, I got offered preferred walk-on status for my dream university, Galen. The University of Florida offered me preferred walk-on status. And I laughed at the University of Florida. Not knowing preferred walk-on status meant we just got to find you a scholarship.
Sure.
You know, you walk on, you're definitely on the team. We just got to find you money. I didn't realize that at the time, and nobody was there. I didn't have a father figure. My dad had just been murdered recently. I really didn't have a father figure. Back then, coaches were, you know, it was a different deal back then. So I decided to be, as an 18-year-old, I decided to be a bar bouncer instead. Great career goal, you know what I mean? Great career goal. So I'm bouncing in bars in Atlanta, and I fall in love. And I follow a girl. She is leaving in 3 weeks after we met. Now, I'm in love in 3 weeks. I'm 21 years old. And she's going off to college in 3 weeks. She's going to a place called Statesboro, to a school called Georgia Southern College. Well, I ain't got no ties in Atlanta. I'll follow my girlfriend that I'm in love with. 3 weeks after we got to Statesboro, we were broke up. Done. Gone. But I'm down there with buddies of mine. I go, well, I'm here now. It was the greatest decision I ever made, turning the preferred walk-on status to Florida down, because the greatest 5 years of my life were the times that I had with my teammates at Georgia Southern University, Georgia Southern College and Georgia Southern University. So it doesn't always have to be a 1A school. And in this day and age, if you're good enough, even if you're at a D2 school or anything, and you develop, they'll find you if you're that good.
No, and that's exactly right. And again, it's about, you know, I talk about it all the time. I think athletics at the high school level is dying. But for a lot of these kids, it's their way out. You know, for whatever reason, they've been blessed athletically, and somebody is willing to pay them money to go to a school where they can learn an education. And good luck. I tell them that all the time. Just absolutely good luck. And I wish nothing but the best for them. So I will tell you, there was a team we were a part of with the Steelers. And right now, and there's still 4 kids left that are going to be signed. 7 kids, and you were talking about MCYFL not being very good, right? That's
not what I said. It's not what I said. That is not what I said.
What did you say?
I
want to be very clear.
What I said is that MCYFL does a disservice to its kids by not giving them the ability to travel around and play against better competition. They play against the same competition year in and year out. So they get done a disservice by playing against the same competition without traveling around and playing against other competition. That's why I think Pop Warner's a better situation than the MCYFL. I never said it was a bad. I never said MCYFL was bad. I just think it's not the right situation if you want to grow as a football player.
So the Steelers that we played on right now, they've got 7 kids, 7 out of the 32 that have been offered D1 or D2 college scholarships as of today. And we still have a whole another year left on that roster. And I know 5 of them who already have offers.
Well, that means you didn't do anything to destroy. That means you didn't do anything to destroy their abilities.
I wasn't a coach on that team.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But again, it was and I've been a part of a lot of teams. It was one of the best coaching staffs at a non-varsity level I've been a part of, and I tell them that all the time. I just love the way they work on that team, and we proved it. We had a lot of talent. Jamarian Burt, who's going to Oklahoma after Mullen got let go. Now he's going to go to Oklahoma. kid who you will be hearing about every Saturday or Sunday morning. You'll read about him in the paper.
Well, let's hold on.
Or you may never hear from him again. So that will be interesting.
Let's talk more about the kids after this break. We'll take a timeout right now.
Sure.
You're listening to Ocala Talks on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. Talking with Galen Unall from Life South about the National Signing Day. A lot of players signed from Marion County. Jaden Dyer, L.J. Fitzpatrick, Caden Richardson out of Denellen. Trinity Catholic had quarterback Cole Gonzalez. He's going to Western Carolina. Defensive back Shayne Hodge going to the University of Pennsylvania. Linebacker Marquise Jones is headed to the University of New Mexico. Elijah Russell is going to Marshall, the Thundering Herd. Westport's Gavin Savino. He's a 3-year starter at quarterback. He's headed to Stetson. Bellevue, Amarian Dudley signs. He'll graduate from Bellevue. The 6'4", 190-pound wide receivers headed to West Florida. Jamarian Burt signs with Oklahoma. He's a Forest receiver and quarterback. North Marion has Jeremiah Mack. He thought his football career was over 2 years ago with an injury, but Wednesday afternoon, the free safety for the Colts signed a national letter of intent to St. Thomas University. And then you get to what is easily the most talented team in a very long time in this town, the Vanguard Knights, over the past 4, 5, 6 years. They had 11 players honored with signing day. Defensive back Emil Sancho, defensive end Jalen Williams, place kicker Grandin Wilcox. They're all going to Norfolk State. Defensive back, offensive lineman Lyndon Wallace, inked with Lane College. Tyrell Randall's going to Northeast Mississippi. Calmonte Pete is going to Georgia Prep Academy. Malik McConico, I hope I'm saying that, is going to Hutchinson Community College. Ronnie Joe Gilchrist is going to Warner. Tailback DeWitt Betterson Jr. is going to Troy, where his father, if you remember, DeWitt Betterson Sr. was one of the best running backs in school history there. Isaiah Guy is going to Georgia State. Elijah Hopkins is going to Coastal Carolina. They signed early. So, that Vanguard team's sending a lot, Galen, but it's great to see all the county schools sending a bunch of kids.
Yeah, and there's still a couple that'll end up being signed. Trent Townsend will end up going somewhere. I think he'll end up being a baseball player, which is strange because he had a rough season, but he's still so good. I'm a huge fan of his, and there will be some other guys that'll pick up offers here and there. But again, it's a big day, and again, it's a much bigger day for the family and for everyone else that surrounds that kid and put love and attention into those kids so that they could get that opportunity. And I tell them all, make the most of it. Right? We all agree it's a once in a lifetime.
Don't squander the opportunity.
And remember, and I tell that kid there, and I'll see, Petey probably tonight. I'll see a bunch of kids tonight. I'll just tell them, remember why you're going. Just remember why you're going.
To get a degree.
That's right. Get a degree, change your life.
Remember, what I think the percentage is 97.4% of all student athletes, their careers are over as athletes at the end of college.
Sure.
So you're there to get a degree.
Everybody goes pro at something.
Yeah.
Right? You hear that all the time. Everybody goes pro at something. Group make the NFL. I'm not going to curse them by saying who they are. I think there's one or two that have a legitimate chance of playing, and getting a taste of the league. And that's rarefied air.
Let me tell you something. If I'd have got just a chance to be on a practice squad for preseason 1 year, preseason practice squad 1 year, never anything else, just a practice squad during the preseason, I would walk around this town like I owned it.
Well, in the hard part, and this, is that first semester. The first semester they walk onto campus.
It's the worst.
Between school and practice is tough. I was really, really happy to see Isaiah and Elijah Hopkins go early. Elijah Hopkins wanted to go to Coastal Carolina.
And he's already on campus.
Sophomore. Yeah, and he's already there. And there are some kids you worry about, and there are some kids you don't. Elijah Hopkins his mom will worry enough about him for all of us, so you don't have to worry about him. And he's a great kid. So I'm really, again, it's a big day, and I'm glad we're making a big deal out of it because it means so much. And I know, again, I have so many stories with these kids, spent so much time with them. If I would have told, I'll tell you this, if I would have told some of these kids 3, 4, 5 years ago, look, you're going to go to college. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to go to Florida, or I'm going to go to Florida State. That's their dream.
Of course.
And then, we would always tell them, like, look, it's not about that. It's just go somewhere. Go somewhere. So, again, if I could have told Hot Sauce, because we used to always eat, the night before, after practice or whatever, we would always go to eat. And he would always order something on the menu he'd never had. And he said, Coach, I've never had it. I got to try it. And if I could tell that young man you're going to Penn, that's a good day.
It's an Ivy League school. Man, the opportunity to graduate with a degree that is from an Ivy League institution.
Sure.
Man, that's just top notch.
Well, he decommitted from Yale, and I said, I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Penn's a better football program. Penn's a better football program.
Penn's interesting. My son had a chance to walk on at Penn, but it would have been completely different.
Although the Bulldog at Yale, the Bulldog is a great mascot at Yale. The tricolored Bulldog, fantastic.
Yeah, and again, but again, they work so hard. I'm so proud of them. So I just hope they make the most of it.
Well, and that's the thing. I got in this discussion last night. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was like, I thought Price, being the Georgia connections and all, he could get. I go, look, those kids signed where they're supposed to sign. And you might not know the university, you might not know the community college or anything, but by the way, junior college football out in the Midwest is huge. And these are opportunities these kids get that they wouldn't get 99% of the time you don't get. So if a college offers and you can sign with them, I don't care if it's Georgia Southern University or if it's, Panhandle, Oklahoma Territorial Indian School. If it's a college and they're paying for you to come to school there, go to school there. Live, learn, and enjoy it and get your education.
And we can't go any further without really talking about the coaches. And, you mentioned how talented Vanguard was. But the bottom line is, and I've told every coach that I talk to, nobody works harder for his guys than Farmer at Vanguard. No one. He works so hard for these kids to get recruited, and his wife helps him. And it's a real testament to Coach Farmer and all the coaches, right? I mean, Amari Dudley and I know how much effort Brady Ackerman put into him and getting him signed. And again, it's a testament, and I think the future is very bright for Bellevue. But if you want to see how it's done, how to get kids and how to break the cycle that we always talk about, then go no further than Farmer, because the head coach at Vanguard does a better job of it than anyone in this county, and period. You could say, he can't get past the regional finals. You know what?
He gets kids in college.
Kids to college.
That's
yesterday.
it. That to me is a win. Exactly.
How we can go back and how many kids from the state championship went to college?
Well,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could do this
You're
all
right.
day.
Well,
I think the world of Farmer, and congratulations, Coach Farmer.
Coach Farmer got 11 kids off this team going to college. That's a huge win. I don't care how you look at it or anything. That you get 11 kids to college.
You'll have 11 next year.
We got to take a break.
I mean?
We'll be right back after this timeout with Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by Penn Flooring, Just Shipped, and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation. We'll be right back after this timeout on WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
U.S. Special Forces conducted what the Pentagon says was a successful counterterrorism operation in northwestern Syria against al-Qaeda members early Thursday. People on the ground after the raid said at least 13 people were killed, including women and children. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said in a brief statement there had been no U.S. casualties in the Special Operations Forces mission, and more information would be released when available. This Syrian witness on NBC News says, quote, "We heard fire. There was shelling from airplanes and machine guns," end quote. President Biden's press secretary, Jen Psaki, said the U.S. officials are boycotting the Winter Olympics because of China's treatment of the Uyghur minority amounts to ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity. This diplomatic boycott by U.S. and several other Western countries is symbolic. The athletes from all these countries are still competing. The Winter Olympics begin Friday. USA Radio News.
First, we decide where we want to go.